नाउ अब हमें पता चल गया है कि चम्मच कहाँ कहाँ से लेने हैं, वो हम डिसाइड कर लेंगे, इतने बंदे यहाँ से लेने, इतने यहाँ से लेने। अब नेक्स्ट हमारा मसला है कि अब हमने डाटा कलेक्टिंग टूल। अब भाई चावल तो लेने हैं, चम्मच से लेने हैं, कड़छे से लेने हैं, हाथ से उठाने हैं, स्ट्रॉ से लेने हैं। ये डिपेंड करता है कि वो क्या चीज है। अगर आपने सूप, इफ यू हैव टू टेस्ट अ सूप, then it will not be very nice to try to do it with a fork. And if you want to test tikka, it is better to test it with a fork. So after sample selection, that is the sample size, and also from where to take, we decide the data collecting tool. Data collecting tool is actually chammach, fork, straw, आपका हाथ और a glass, whatever. How to, what is the instrument actually to collect the data? Well, data collecting tool are actually two: questionnaire and surveys. Now you have all the information in your hand. On the basis of that, you decide to make a questionnaire. What is the difference between questionnaire and whatever you know? That is questionnaire. And survey is when you go yourself and the person is sitting in front of you and you fill the form. So which one is more authentic? The authenticity of questionnaire is weaker as compared to survey. In survey, when you go over there, you can actually ensure the confidentiality. You also look at gestures of the patient, and you also have got a time to ensure them various things which questionnaire actually does not do that. Maybe someone did it very hurriedly, but in survey you have a time. So these two are the data collecting tools, and which is designed on the basis of all the previous information we had. At this time, I would just briefly touch, not in detail, the data collecting tool for qualitative research. Now this research which you are talking is actually quantitative research. But just to give you a little taste of it, the qualitative research is much difficult than the quantitative research. Because in quantitative research, you measure the hemoglobin, easy. You measure whether heart attack happened or not, and there is a criteria for heart attack. But the other one is focal group discussions. These are the data collecting tools for qualitative research. So since we don't have much time, so I'll just skip that. Just focal group discussion is that you collect the people. For example, you wanted to know that why doctors went into strike. So you called Secretary Health, you called Vice Chancellor of your university, my dear brother and friend, Dr. Tanveer, and Tanveer Khalik, and you call the YDA president, and you call the patient's attendants, sit them together and just had a discussion with them. And then you record that discussion, and from there you common themes you just extract. That will be focal group discussion. But just I wanted you to know that these two exist. Otherwise, you can just forget about that. Okay, so we had the research variables. We made a study design. Then we had a sample selection. Then we decided about the data collection tool, whether it will be questionnaire or survey, and what will be the method of doing it. And then carrying out the, obviously, it is you can use it through email, you can personally go there, or by mail. That depends upon our circumstance. And you can skip that. Okay, now once that data is collected, that data will be in the form of piles of paper. ऐसे ही sheet जिसके ऊपर data डाला हुआ होगा. Like in our one study of that anemia with hemoglobin thing, that pregnancy thing, तो बेसिकली एक बड़ा सा 100 बंदों का चार्ट होगा जिसपे लिखा होगा हीमोग्लोबिन 7, हीमोग्लोबिन 7.5, हीमोग्लोबिन 9, हीमोग्लोबिन 10, हीमोग्लोबिन 12, आगे लिखा होगा कि इस तरह से लिखा होगा ना. Now this has no meaning. Even if it is in computer, even if it is in the form of a paper, it has no meaning. Now we have to present that data in such a way that it has got a meaning, and that is called preparation of data for analysis, and that depends upon the type of the data. Okay, I will just read it out. Presentation of data so that it is easily understandable. कागजों में जो पढ़ा हो तो समझ में नहीं आएगा आपको. So you have to convert it in some form that when you show it to someone, he will immediately understand it, and it depends upon the data. One of it is called frequency table or chart or graph. For example, the one of the presentation way is called frequency table. अच्छा मुझे लग रहा है कि now the subsequent discussion which I'm going to finish in 10-15 minutes, I hope inshallah, requires a lot of concentration and a lot of oxygen in our central nervous system, right? So please be focused, and thank you for your patient listening. We're gonna finish soon. Now see, when that data is there, we want to convert it into a visual form in such a way that this can be interpreted and then can be statistically analyzed. Now one of them is called frequency table. The other can be chart, other can be graph. Frequency table means that out of this whole data, which figure came with maximum frequency. For example, we wanted to check the systemic blood pressure of all the patients who come to the OPD. And we found that 100 patients, 6 patients, they had blood pressure less than 100. 9 had between 100 to 120. 24 had 120 to 140. And 15 had between 151 to 41 to 60. 6 had above 160. So which blood pressure was more frequently seen is this one, 121 to 140, with the frequency of 24. Now, just you had data of thousands of patients, but this chart will immediately tell you that majority of population actually had a blood pressure between 121 to 140. So when you presented data in such a way, this is called frequency chart. Similarly, just don't read what is written on the top, but whatever is happening here, this was almost not there in 1900, then it started increasing. In 1960, it became maximum, and now it is dropping down. So just by one glance, you can just know this study was started in year 1900, finished in 1990. It's a 90 years data collection, but with one glance, whatever this phenomena was, this was not there in 1900, but in 1960 it was maximum, and now it is again decreasing. It is actually cigarette consumption in people less than 18 years of age, right? So even if you don't know what we are talking about, just this graph will tell you that the phenomena was behaving in this way. I hope you got the point. Similarly, just forget what is written there. Whatever it is more common in female. 70% of it is in female, 30, whatever it is, right? Similarly, this is called histogram. Whatever it is more around 40 to 50, and it is also more around 70. But in an early childhood and a latehood, it is not there. Right? So in other words, these 4 or 5 examples I have picked just to let you know that whatever data you have, you actually convert it now in this form so that it visibly makes a meaning. When in initial part, when this computer was not there, all these things had to be done manually, which was a very, very difficult thing. But now it takes more time to explain these 4 slides as compared to make them. Because when you have a data on Excel, you have to click one button and you ask them to make a pie chart, a histogram and frequency chart. It will immediately make a histogram, pie chart and frequency chart. Okay, so this is what is called the presentation of data. After presentation of the data, the next thing is in fact, this is the last thing which we are discussing, and this will actually make us understand what research actually ends. And this requires a lot of concentration. Well, whatever data we have, it is in a presentable form. Now we have to summarize it. When we summarize it in such a way that we want to know that how much data is close to the center and how much data is away from the center. Even if you don't understand my last sentence, you just focus and you will shortly understand. Now, whatever data we had, we calculate its mean. क्या होता है? Mean ये होता है कि you add all the numbers and divide them into the number of the participants. है ना? For example, we want to calculate what is the, we are actually studying the pay structure of PIMS hospital, your hospital. And when we calculate the mean, there are 10,000 employees. What we do is that we write down their pay, each month's pay, and we add them and divide it into 10,000. What will come will be the mean pay of the employees of PIMS hospital. Now please, this answer, for example, comes as 9,000. You some idea that the mean pay is 9,000. Now the second is median. And this we do in every research. In every research, we calculate the mean. And we will shortly understand that what is the importance of it. And then we calculate the median. Median is that there was person 1, there was person 10,000. Which one was actually in the center is called median. And for example, the total, we calculate the mean was 9,000, but the thing which come in the center was, median was 10,000. It means that there are more people who are getting the pay less than 9,000. This is why around 9,000, because this is the mean. But there are people which have got pay more than 9,000, right? A significant number of people are more than 9,000. This is why it came into median. And mode is the number which is frequently came in that whole data. For example, the frequent one was 11,000. So there are many people who are getting 11,000, but there is a lot of people who are actually less than that, and this is why the mean was less and the median was 10. So in other words, when whatever data we have, we calculate its mean, its median, and its mode. If mean, median, and mode are very close together, then our data has got a significant meaning. But if our mean, mode, and mean are very, very different, in which that means there is actually no correlation. Some people have got a pay of 50 lakh and some people have pay of 5,000 rupees, right? Did you understand that? If mean, median, and mode are together, close to each other, which will mean that there is a uniform distribution of pay among the staff. So this is just one example, but please you remember that whatever data you get after every research, when you calculate mean, median, and mode, it actually tells us the tendency towards center. Okay, and this is the measure of center. Along with that, we also measure the tendency towards periphery. Now, you just visualize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10,000. Just in front of your eyes, you visualize a scale. On one side there is 1, on the other side there is 10,000. These are the employees of PIMS hospital. And then pay is plotted in the form of bar charts in front of you. Now, first of all, you try to calculate what is mean, what is median, and what is mode, which tells you that how many of them are in the center. Now we are talking something different. How many are close to the periphery? In order to know that, what you calculate is called range. So the mean pay of everyone was 9,000, with the range was 4,000 to 5 lakh. Range is the one which is the minimum pay and the one which was maximum pay. This will be the range. And the other thing you calculate is the variance and standard deviation. Now these 2 points, if you understand, then I will be very happy and I will try my best to make you understand. Now, variance is, okay, let me take a deep breath. Visualize that whole bar. There is person on one whose pay is 5,000. There is a person on here whose pay is 10 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees. This is the range. Now, person 1 varies, his pay varies from the mean. person 2, his pay also varies from the mean. Person 3, his pay also varies from the mean. And when you cross the mean, the person on the other side, his pay is also varying from the mean. Is this point clear? Each member of the population will have a number which will be little different from the mean. Now, if most of the people are close to the mean, which means that variability is less. And if most of the people, their individual digit or number will be varying much more from the mean, that will mean that the variability is more. So the quantification of this variability is called variance. So if someone has a variance of 0, it will mean that all 10,000 people have got the same pay. And if the variance will be 1, which means each one has got a different pay from that of the mean. So range tells us कि कम से कम कितनी थी, ज्यादा से ज्यादा. पे की मैं आपको एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, अदरवाइज जो भी आपने स्टडी किया है, जो भी उसका डाटा है, उस जैसे अनीमिया का भी जैसे आपने स्टडी किया, जो भी आपने डाटा स्टडी किया, उसमें पूरी पॉपुलेशन में एक वो होगा जिसका सबसे कम नंबर होगा, एक सबसे ज्यादा नंबर होगा. अच्छा, जितनी रेंज कम होगी उतना वो सेंटर की तरफ ज्यादा होगा, जितनी रेंज ज्यादा होगी उतना वो पेरिफेरी की तरफ ज्यादा होगा. अच्छा, जितनी वेरिएबिलिटी कम होगी उतना वो मीन की तरफ ज्यादा होगा, जितनी वेरिएबिलिटी ज्यादा होगी उतना वो पेरिफेरी की तरफ ज्यादा होगा, पूरा का पूरा डाटा. एंड दिस वेरिएंस इज दिस क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ वेरिएबिलिटी. This quantification of variability, if you make it square root, it will become standard deviation. Now, why this is required is with this example. अब गौर से सुनिएगा. तो अब तक मैंने आपको बताया रेंज ये है कि सबसे कम ज्यादा था और सबसे ज्यादा कम ज्यादा था, और ज्यादा कौन सा था? Variance is the quantification of variability in the whole population. So it starts from 0 to 1. If variance, and it is calculated statistically, if variance is 0, that means everyone has got the same number, which is obviously impossible. And if it is 1, it means each one has got the same. It is again impossible. At least there will be one person which will be in the mean. At least there will be many, but at least one. But these are the two extremes. Achha, why we want to know this? Because this variance is required to calculate the standard deviation. And that standard deviation is, just look at carefully these dogs. Their height is measured from their shoulder. This big one has got this much height, this one has this much height, this one. Now we calculate their mean. Iski 600 thi, 470, 170. इनको जमा किया 1970 divided by 5, 394. So this green line is 394. Okay. Now this dog is 204 plus from the mean. This dog is 76 plus from the mean. This dog is 224 minus from the mean. This has got 36 plus from the mean, and this has got 94 minus from the mean. And this is the variance. So each one varies from the midline. This now variance is calculated by this. Iska square, uska square, iska square, iska square, iska square divided by 5 will be the variance. Now iska jo variance होगा वो 21704 है. 21704. मैं भी आपको समझाता हूँ अभी. ये स्लाइड तो समझ में आ गई ना आपको? हमने सारों के सारे जितने वेरिएंस थे उनको कैलकुलेट कर लिया, और इसका जब हमने स्क्वायर रूट किया इस सारे का, तो उसका जवाब आया 147. Now this calculation of 147 is very important. It means कि जो most of the population है वो 147 प्लस और 147 नीचे के अंदर फॉल कर रही है. if we know the variance, if variance is very big, if variance is very big, which will mean our standard deviation will be big. तो standard deviation 1 का मतलब ये होगा कि जितनी variance थी उतनी plus की side and the same one on the negative side, right? And we mathematically know that whatever is the population, कितने उसमें से member of the population standard variation के अंदर fall करेंगे. If standard variation is very high, then data has got no correlation because it's more towards periphery. तो जो हम मालूम करना चाह रहे हैं, फर्ज करें हम ये मालूम करना चाह रहे थे कि ब्लड प्रेशर से इंसिडेंस हार्ट का होता है कि नहीं होता, जब हम उसको इस डाटा को प्लॉट करके देखेंगे, अगर ये बात सही नहीं है तो हमारा डाटा का वेरिएंस बहुत ज्यादा होगा और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन बहुत ज्यादा होगी, which means सारी पॉपुलेशन मिड लाइन से बहुत ज्यादा दूर होगी, डिविएट कर जाएगी बहुत ज्यादा. लिहाजा जो हमने हाइपोथेसिस बनाई थी वो गलत है. ब्लड प्रेशर से हार्ट से नहीं होता. और अगर हमारी वेरिएंस, उसको क्वांटिफाई कैसे करना है, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड, you will shortly understand what I am saying. So the standard deviation is a measure which describes how much individual measurements differ on average from the mean. ये बात मैंने आपको बता दी है. A large standard deviation shows that there is a wide scatter of measured values around the mean, while small standard deviation shows that the individual values are concentrated around the mean with little variation amongst them. अब ये जो ग्राफ है ना, मैंने आपको कहा था ना कि 2 स्लाइडें सिर्फ याद रखनी है आपने. ये जो ग्राफ है ये हजारों सालों की मैथमेटिकल रिसर्च के बाद बनाया गया है कि जो भी पॉपुलेशन हो, ये अगर उसका मीन है तो 34.1% पॉपुलेशन हमेशा उसके प्लस साइड पर होती है और 34.13% हमेशा उसके नेगेटिव साइड पे होता है. और अगर आप 2 स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन देख लें तो 13.59 2 डेविएशन के प्लस साइड पर होती है और अगर आप इधर चले जाएं तो 13.59 इधर होती है. I would so in any population, whatever is the population, mathematically 8.26 population will always be within the one. अच्छा, now you add 13.59 and 13.59 into the 62 point something interval. So this is why we want to calculate the standard deviation, because 95% of population has to fall within 2 standard deviations. Okay, in other words, the rest of the fringe is actually not very significant because 95% of population actually falls in 2 standard deviations. So if you know the standard deviation, you can know whether 95, which mean actually 100%, क्योंकि 5% का हमने उसको शक दे दिया था ना कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल का, which will mean that if we know the standard deviation and we can calculate that how much people are in that standard deviation, we can know whether most of them are having the same behavior or they are not having the same behavior. This is why it was important to calculate the standard deviation, because if much of the population will be, very close to the mean, it should be very close to the mean. In other words, if standard deviation is smaller, that means our hypothesis is correct, that hypertension has led to heart failure. And if that is standard deviation is very variable, in which that means 95% of the population is spread far from the mean. Now you must be just wondering that why I put your head into so much trouble by just discussing so much statistics with you. It was just to bring the understanding in your head. As far as the real life is concerned, you need not to do it yourself. You need not to do it yourself. You actually put everything into a software which is called SPSS. SPSS software. You put it into that and that software on its own calculates the mean, median, mode, range, variance, and standard deviation. And accordingly, it calculates that how much population is outside this 95% zone. And this converts, okay, I want to ring another bell in your head. See, okay, let me read it out. It gives the estimates of degree to which they will forget about it. So this I told you. Now see, just listen carefully. We are going to finish very soon, so be patient. An important characteristic of a normally distributed variable is that 95% of the measurement have values which are approximately within 2 standard deviation. I told you that. As a result, the maximum confidence interval hugely possible is only 95%. In other words, there is always a 5% chance of being wrong. So if our data calculated has got a chance of being wrong less than 5%, that means still this is acceptable. Those of you who are little lagging behind, I just want to remind you that we have got a cause and we want to know whether that cause has got a particular effect or not. If that effect is proved, this can be proved by finding out whether it has got a chance of becoming wrong more than 5% or less than 5%. And whatever statistics I've told you has actually let us know this. This is converted 5. So for correction to be significant, correlation to be significant, the chance of it being wrong should be less than 5%. So whatever statistical method we actually apply tells us only one thing, that this data has got less than or more than chance of being right or wrong more than 5%. In other words, if we consider 100 as one value, in other words, whenever you interpret any research, you see whether p-value is less than 0.05 or not. And if p-value is less than 0.05, that means this cause has got an effect with it. And if that p-value is more than 0.5%, that means ये बात सही नहीं है. इसका उसके साथ कोई correlation नहीं है, क्योंकि इसका confidence interval 95% है ही नहीं. ये जो चावल मुंह में खाए हैं ना, इसको देख के अंदाजा नहीं हो सकता कि बाकी देख पकी हुई है कि नहीं. Right? So once we have done it, I will just skip all those slides. Once we have done it, what we do is that we make a hypothesis. And the hypothesis is, in fact, these are the last few slides. The hypothesis is that hypertension actually results, the diabetes results into heart attack. ये हमारी hypothesis थी. अब हम उसका confidence interval हमने 95 रखा. जो जितना data हमने calculate किया था, उनको SPSS में डाला, और जो चीज हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं वो p वैल्यू का, और उसके लिए जो टेस्ट अप्लाई किया जाता है वो है t टेस्ट और z टेस्ट. मैं इसकी तफसील में नहीं जाता कि किन केसेस में t टेस्ट करते हैं, किसमें. मुझे अच्छी तरह याद है, जब शुरू में हम रिसर्च करते थे तो मैं पैसे देता था स्टैटिस्टिक्स वाले बंदे को, वो कागजों पे लंबी कैलकुलेट करके then he has to calculate it. Now whether you apply a t test or a z test, it will give you a p value. And if that p value is 0.5%, is more than 0.5%, that means our hypothesis is rejected. That means diabetes mellitus has no correlation with the heart attack. And if our p-value is 0.05%, our result will be that yes, diabetes causes hypertension. So we had research variables, we had a sample selection, we had data collecting tools, we carried out the data, we prepared the data in a presentable form, then we did a data analysis. Although I, took a lot of your time in explaining those complicated mathematical things, but so that you understand that what is the basis of it. Excuse me. So you understand that what is the basis of it, but however, nowadays this whole thing is done by the software. And this will actually result into making a conclusion. now your research is complete. With all this hard work, you found it out, yes, this is responsible for this, or you said this is not responsible for this. And then you discuss it. Discuss it means similar research which has been done all over, you just discuss it. And you just write that discussion. And then you write the references. All those things from where you got it, जो आपने शुरू में किया था research, वो सारे reference लिखते हैं. अच्छा, इसके बाद आपके research मुकम्मल हो गई, एक चीज रह गई बस. What do you think वो क्या? It is much easier than this workshop. Now, once you have done a research, then you do a write-up. Now, this write-up you will send to a filter. That filter is a research journal. That research journal will pass through that research journal like a filter. They will verify that whatever you have done has been scientifically done correctly. And if they publish it, it will automatically go to body of the knowledge. You will find it out. So this is the complete story later on. But actually, write-up is not as difficult as actually conduction of research is. So I'm going to finish, but I would like to give you a homework. Otherwise, this all hard work of myself and yours, thank you very much for being patient, that will all be wasted if we just listen it and clap it and just go home. I would request you to please prepare a research proposal. This is very, very important. You follow that all recipe, select the area of research, select the research objective, then all those variables, blah, 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 and come up with a proposal. May it be a very simple thing, and then you start doing a research. In the end, I would like to say that word can only be changed if we have a research attitude. And please trust that we can. We can. Please research that we can change the world.